Hey, welcome part 2 of World War IV. Last episode we saw fighting begin in Europe with Lithuania and most of the Danish peninsula falling to Germany, and half of Poland and part of Romania falling to Russia. France getting trapped down here, and Andorra and Catalonia. Canada, completely messing up. Virginia invading Louisiana, and taking over Baja California because they went and invaded California, which was neutral nation, which I also totally forgot about. What happened in California? Well, here's the thing. Virginia decides, yeah, we're gonna just take it ourselves. So, they're kind of hypocritical. They even announce that they fully annex the rest of Baja California. So, yeah. This might have not been a good idea on their part, because, that just means Mexico can directly invade Virginia now. So, yep. They start pushing up into Virginia, while also helping out Louisiana kick Virginia out of the country. They get about this far, and then they decide to go on the offensive inside of Virginia and start invading down here, taking two major cities. And yeah, Virginia's starting to get folded in this war, but that's mainly because majority of their population's dead from nukes. But here's the thing, it doesn't last long because the Canadian front line over here starts to crumble as Virginia pushes them back. But Canada pushes back again, and the front line stabilizes around here. And they also push into here and here. But Vancouver, though, is completing their mission pretty easily, because they've just noticed that there's a very small amount of Alaskan troops, or Canadian troops now over here. Why is that? Well, it's because Canada is about to do something huge. They're gonna take all their military from this, area and just punch right into Virginia down here. And they take a lot of land super fast. And they even start to invade Vancouver. But Vancouver being, Vancouver, they decide, oh, thank goodness we kept these troops here, and they flank the Canadians over here. And they even start pushing them that way and retaking some of Virginia's land. So, yeah. And they are able to successfully repel Canada's attack. Because Canada, might have not really had a good plan. They just told their military go here and go down. Like, it wasn't like that great of a plan. So Vancouver is able to rescue Virginia over here, but the Canadians aren't fully pushed out. They like remain around here for now. And Vancouver decides to connect up to here, and now Canada is cut in half completely. So they start sending their navy somewhere. Vancouver does, not Canada. They send their navy here towards Alaska, and they start punching through Alaska's naval defenses. Alaska's not that strong a country. They're just more loyal to Canada than to Virginia. And the Navy surrounds the capital of Alaska, and they make a landing right here, cut this area in half, and take it, and they make multiple more landings throughout this area, taking these islands, and yeah, Alaska is now being invaded by Vancouver. So, how's this front line looking? Well, it's actually looking good for Virginia, because they're able finally punch through this front line. Why is this slightly different color? Okay, well, it's gonna be all this now. How about that? Yeah, Virginia's able finally push back Guyana again and be up with the coast. And when they do, oh, yep, Virginia starts a naval landing of Guyana. Oh, I did that part on the wrong layer, sorry. And they also take all of these islands while they're at it. Now, how's Virginia able to really do this? Well, here's the thing. They necessarily aren't just them in Vancouver over here. Because completely out of left field, Greenland announces that they are on the side of Virginia. And this is also something that Canada was kind of afraid of, which is why there wasn't like troops in this area, like over here. They rely on this border, and they were like, they kind of thought that this could happen, but they didn't know when it would happen, and it just happened. So Greenland starts invading over here, taking one major city, and they're able to not do that. Able to like get about this far over here. Then over here, they start invading here, which forces Canada to like pull back on this front line here. And you're probably asking, what does this have to do with South America? Well, here's the thing. Greenland actually did all this like naval work, not Virginia. And how they get through the Canadian defenses. Well, originally they were just saying, we're just doing like coastal reconnaissance. We're just trying to protect like this like larger area of the ocean. So Canada bought that, but they probably shouldn't have. And yeah, but now they have to fight Canadian Navy. They punch through here, and this part of the Navy isn't like really around here anyway. So it's kind of more looking like this. Yeah, like that. And since they're also like good friends with, I'm using the wrong keys, I'm sorry. Since they're good friends with English and the Scottish, they also have some naval aid over here. So the naval front line more looks not like that, but like this. And yeah. And they also might also have well more than anticipated over here, because like Iberia is still like a pretty strong naval force. Morocco's gotten really strong recently, with them even having a large naval presence in the Atlantic. So yeah, in terms of Navy, the circle team's at the advantage. In terms of armies, though, the 3-point star alliance is at advantage. But Canada can't really support like all these fronts. So the front line over here will begin to collapse as the Virginians are able finally kick Canada out of this area and here. And now Virginia is on the offensive here by invading into Canada and meeting up with Greenland. And these two will work together to occupy the rest of this. Greenland will take all of this, and Virginia will take all of this. So yeah, Canada's now starting to get folded. But then the worst thing that could happen to a country during World War happened. Two major rebellions pop up in the south of Virginia. This gold one, which is Carolina. I think that be close to Carolina. Oh no, I also have to turn off the city layer. This, oh wait, no, do it like this, idiot. And then the Florida rebellion starts, and yeah, and whose side are they gonna be loyal to? Oh, the Stars? Yeah, be on the Stars side? Okay. So yeah, they immediately pledge support to the Star Alliance, and this area immediately is like taken like back by the green team, and Florida will start pushing in up here. They're not gonna be, these countries are like not gonna be able to do a lot, but they are able to take quite a bit from Virginia. And now Virginia is facing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fronts now. And Canada is gonna be like, okay, this is our opportunity to make a move on this front. Well, everybody's confused. So they start pushing downwards to try and meet up with Louisiana. They do. and Virginia is officially cut in half. And Mexico will continue their invasion, taking all the Baja California land and California. And yeah, Virginia's starting to, like, die. Now, what's going on in Europe? Well, somebody decided to get their head out of their ass, and yeah, Green France starts pushing back into Andorra, and they're, like, having aid with the Dutch, and who else? The Dutch, the Austrians, and Yugoslavians are helping them invade Andorra, while the Dutch also is, like, holding, like, the English off, like, through here. Like, they made, like, a defensive front line. England doesn't really want to continue invading. They're just staying in the war to monetarily help Greenland. But yeah, Andorra is the second. Well, not second. I don't know what number country, but they fall. They fall to French troops, and so does Catalonia. Their efforts were very, like, notable and impressive, but the French Navy and Army was just too much for them to handle. The French fully take over the center of the Mediterranean. They also do take Corsica, I think that is. So 2 more countries on the circle team are done and out. Let me mark them with white circles. Well, just right icon. And those 2 are out. Wait, it's full yet? No. But yeah, this is at the point where England decides peace out this war. They decide to have, like, a separate peace tree separate from the World War IV peace tree. So let's look at what they get. The English will get not the entire country, will get these 2 provinces, and the rest will actually be annexed by southern France, officially turn them from southern France to just France. Now, why does North France not exist? Well, because the 3-Point Star Alliance is pissed at them for nuking a neutral nation. So, let me just fix this. And, yep. Oh, I should also, for the sake of, like, the icons and stuff over here, I should also color these in to the respective sides. So the 3-Point Star Alliance is blue, circle are red. So yeah, so the Circle Alliance is starting to lose this war, but there's no need fear over here, because Russia, despite being, like, weaker than they used to be, they're still kind of strong in the series, and they continue their advances into Romania and are able to capture the capital, and Poland's front line has just collapsed. and Russia has captured all of Poland. Poland falls, and they completely surrender to Russia, meaning they are no longer involved in this war. Russia decides, we should now help Denmark, right? And Denmark's like, yes, please. Please do that. And they're like, okay. So the Russians enter in here. But, they tell the Danish some bad news. Yeah, we're not actually gonna let you invade, Germany here. Oh, we're cutting you off. We're like, what? So yeah, the Russians start invading Germany. But then, this is when another alliance decides to pick a side. And the alliance that decides to enter doesn't just pick a side between the 3-point star alliance or the circle alliance. They pick it for their own interests, their own beliefs in the world. They believe that Europe and America are destroying this world, and that Asia is the future of this world. So, completely out of left field, the Triangle Alliance, or the Asian Pact as it's known as, joins this war as a third party, and this is really bad, because here's the thing. The Asian Pact is full of a lot of powerful countries. In fact, the leader of the alliance is the number 3 most powerful country in the world. But they don't come alone, because they make an offer with yet another alliance saying, hey, wanna jump Europe with us? And we're like, that does sound quite fun. So, out of nowhere as well, the Diamond Alliance joins the war on the side of China. And now, we officially have a 3-sided world war. And China did this by complete surprise. As soon as they announced it, they told their troops to start invading Russia. And here's the thing. China is strong. China is way stronger than Russia. Way stronger than a lot of the countries in the world. And they've been kind of preparing for something like this. They kind of thought that World War will happen, and the alliance has been secretly building up for this war. And China and the alliance, with the help of the Diamond Alliance, will deal major damage against Russia. And the Diamond Alliance will launch their own invasion through Ukraine. They'll meet up with China over here. And yeah. China, Ukraine, and now Finland are making Russia look really bad. Because Finland enters Russia as well. And yeah, Russia's being completely invaded on their eastern side. And Russia's gonna, call back their forces from Germany. And this allows Germany to resurrect some of Poland, but Russia does hold a defensive halfway into Poland, and Romania, like, this is how the front line's gonna look, basically like how it did at the start of the video, and Russia is gonna attempt to, start pushing back these three forces. They aren't really successful, and, yeah, Russia's starting to get folded, and to make matters worse, the Triangle Alliance, may have just sent some people up here, and with the use of their navy, the Siberians, the Chinese, will start cruising towards Alaska, and when they get to Alaska, they start fighting the Navy. The Alaskans have already been, like, dealt a major blow, especially with Vancouver's front line building up a lot of momentum and taking a lot of the southern part of Alaska. And now Siberia will make a landing in Alaska. And yeah, Alaska is starting to fall apart. Vancouver tries to hurry up the invasion here, take as much as it can before the Siberians can take more. But there's a lot of Chinese troops here, so they're able to take all of this before Alaska decides, you know, we're out. Just let us exist and we'll leave the war. We'll accept any conditions you put on us. And all sides agree, and Alaska officially leaves the war, which causes, oh boy, for Vancouver to have like a bit of a day over here, as they're able to finally take all of this land from Canada. And now Siberia is gonna start attacking Vancouver's troops over here. And yeah. So now Siberia's pushing back Vancouver. They get around here. Then they realize, oh god, they're coming. Oh dear lord. Oh no. Please stop. And Vancouver's like, nope. They kick Siberia out of Alaska. And they even, push their navy into here. They basically have full naval control down here now that Alaska doesn't exist. And they start completely surrounding Alaska with their navy. So yeah, Vancouver's popping off. And Canada just basically lost half its country. And these rebellions down here, here's the thing. It was a neat idea, but Virginia, oh dear, Virginia pushes them out. And yeah, they invade both the rebellions and knock these two out of the war. And then they go back into Louisiana, because they know if they do this, Louisiana would have fall back over here, which they do, and Canada, being busy trying not to die to Vancouver, will also pull back here. But this might have been the move that kind of solidified Virginia's victory in this war, as Virginia starts pushing down and takes the capital of Canada, pushes in through here, and takes all of this land. And now Greenland, well, now Canada's troops do arrive here. They start pushing back, but then they hear about what's going on down here. So Canada has to bring their troops back to, like, deal with this. And that causes Virginia to push even further into Canadian territory. And they take all of this. The troops that were fighting Greenland have also been told to try retake the motherland. And yeah, the front line eventually starts looking like this, and Canada's reduced down to this. But Mexico is still going pretty strong. Like, they have most of South America. We're putting them over here. And it's getting to a point where, like, where Virginia has basically lost half the country, and Louisiana is able to push back against Virginia and push them out of their country yet again. And they take all of this land. So both the major powers here are, like, getting absolutely destroyed. But Virginia makes the Star Team an offer. If you leave this war, we'll give you a generous amount of land, and, like, just let us fight Canada and finish them off. And a few countries will think about it, but most of them will be like, no. And then, Virginia's like, pretty please, what if we give Mexico all of Baja California and Louisiana all of this territory? So it would look something like, I don't know, they propose the border going here, then they'll have all of this, and Mexico would get all of this. And the Star Team's like, no, we're not doing that. And they're like, okay, then you better be ready. Like, what do you mean? Vancouver and Greenland decide, we are done in Canada. Let's go help Virginia and go defeat the Star Alliance. So, suddenly out of nowhere, a gigantic invasion into this occupied territory happens with the help of Vancouver and Greenland. And they take a lot of this land back from Mexico. And then at this point, the Star Alliance is like, okay, well, peace out. Just give us the land we still have. And, Virginia will agree to this. Their peace treaty will be handled real quick. But anyway, the Star Alliance officially leaves this war because they now know they'll probably lose if Vancouver touches one of these borders. So what's the tree gonna look like between these two alliances? The agreement is Mexico will get all of this land. One sec. And this land. Oh, I see my problem. We'll get all this land and this land, not all that. I said not all of that. I see why we're giving them all of that now. So Mexico will get all of this. And Louisiana will get all of this from Virginia. And Virginia is getting all their land back that the Star Alliance invaded. Now, why did Star Alliance quickly, decide to peace out, besides, potentially getting multiple countries invaded? Well, it's mainly because they don't really want to continue to fight, and in reality, Mexico and Louisiana mainly want land and not absolute victory over Virginia. So yeah. So now in the Americas, it's a 3v1, and Canada is unfortunately not gonna win this war, as Virginia makes their final crossing down here, and a lot of Canada quickly falls to all sides. Greenland will invade over here, and Virginia will deal the final blow. The most powerful country in the world has just fell, and they completely surrender unconditionally. And what about over here? There's still a lot of members in the 3-Point Star Alliance and Circle Team over here, and they're like, alright, now the Virginians are gonna come help us, right? Oh, Virginia has just left war. Oh, so did Vancouver. And Greenland? What do you mean? Oh, we don't really care about Europe. And now, both sides feel betrayed. But it doesn't really matter because China, is gonna unite their front lines and with their allies in Russia, and they're gonna start to destroy Russia. And yeah, Russia's fallen, and they cannot get up because Poland's completely liberated. Romania gets liberated, and now, the first time in this war, Poland's on the offensive, and they enter. Let's do more this color. Germany will also go right back into Danish lands, and they yeah, the Danish are starting to lose this war as well. And the Circle Alliance members in this area are really mad at Virginia for abandoning them. But yeah, the Circle Alliance isn't gonna exist long enough to complain over here, as China takes Russia's capital, and Poland will meet China at their border, And keep in mind, China isn't on the side of the 3-Point Star Alliance. But their main, goal for them in this area was to eliminate Russia. And they are like, alright, we could meet for peace. Like, are you guys down for that? And the 3-Point Star Alliance is down for it. Triangle Alliance is down for it. But SpaghettiOs. The Diamond Alliance isn't. In fact, the Diamond Alliance still really wants to jump. Yeah, so Ukraine sends their troops into Romania and gets about halfway in, and then the remaining countries that aren't involved in the war just say, that's not cool. So now Ukraine should have really thought about what they just did, because the Square Alliance makes their entrance into this war. When the World War was about to be over, they get another team involved, and the war just escalates from there. And why is your square being complicated? Bulgaria. This is pissing me off. Fuck you, Bulgaria. Alright, but that'll do it for this episode. Next episode, we'll see the conclusion of World War IV.